This is a story about a boy who built a school from trash. It's a crazy story that happened in Africa, but it's a true story, so let's dive right in. Once upon a time, in a very poor village in Africa, there was a boy named Musa. He was only 10 years old, but he loved learning more than anything in the world. Musa would spend all day long reading books at the village library. But one day when he arrived at the library, he heard some very sad news. The library was closing down because no one had money to pay the rent anymore. All the books were being moved out onto the street, and Musa desperately tried to stop them from throwing away all those books. He started picking up as many books as he could carry, but there were so many books and not enough hands. And as he looked around, he realized that all the other kids had the same idea as him. They were taking books home so that they didn't get destroyed. When Musa got home, he showed all the books to his grandmother. She was very proud of him, but also worried. She knew that their little hut couldn't protect all these books for long. If it rained, they would get wet, and if the goats came inside, they would start chewing on them. That's when an idea struck Musa. He didn't want to lose the books, but also not lose his favorite place in the world, the library. So why not build a new library, an even better library where nobody could take away the books? He went back outside and told all the kids from the village about his idea. At first, they were a little scared. Building a library wasn't going to be easy. They needed money, tools, and materials, but then Musa said something that inspired all the kids. He said, "I know we don't have any money, but I bet we do have enough trash. We can use old plastic bottles to make walls. We can use metal cans for the roof and old wood to make chairs and tables." The kids thought this was a great idea. They all ran into the streets and started picking up trash. Soon, they had gathered so much trash that they needed help carrying it. So all the adults from the village joined in, and together they built a small classroom made from trash. Of course, building a school wasn't going to be easy. It took a long time before everything was finished. There were so many problems and setbacks that sometimes the villagers wanted to give up. But whenever someone was losing hope, Musa would say, "Don't worry, if we can collect all this trash, we can also build a school. It might take a long time, but I know we can do it if we just try a little harder." Musa's positive energy inspired everyone around him. People started bringing him tools from their homes, and others brought food so everyone could stay energized while working. Even though everyone worked very hard, they were also very happy. They sang songs and danced together while working, and they shared stories and jokes during lunch. And slowly but surely, the school began to take shape. At first, it was just a small classroom, but then people had so much faith in Musa that they kept bringing more supplies. Soon, Musa's school grew and grew until it became a real school with multiple classrooms. Musa had achieved his goal, but his biggest dream was still far away. He wanted all the kids in his village to have access to education, but that would require a lot more classrooms and teachers. Fortunately, after Musa's story spread to the neighboring villages, an NGO reached out to the village leaders and offered their support. They built more classrooms, provided the village with books, and installed internet and solar power. Musa had never been happier. He finally had a real school for his village, and he learned that even the smallest hands can build a better world. It took a lot of time and effort, but eventually Musa's school was finished. It looked beautiful, made from recycled materials. From old plastic bottles to tin cans and wooden pallets, every material had been carefully selected and assembled to create a unique piece of art. What made the school even more special was the sense of community that had come together to build it. Villagers, children, and even local artists had donated their time and skills to make Musa's dream a reality. The walls were decorated with murals painted by local artists depicting scenes from daily life in the village. Each stroke of the paintbrush told a story of hope, resilience, and the power of education. The classrooms were filled with donated books, some new and some used, but all of them were filled with knowledge waiting to be discovered. The children's laughter echoed through the halls as they explored their new school. Their eyes sparkled with curiosity and excitement as they turned the pages of their books or sat around listening to their teacher. The school wasn't just a place of learning, it was a place of joy, a place where children could be children and discover the world around them. One day, Musa was sitting in his classroom looking out at the children playing in the courtyard. A wide smile spread across his face. He couldn't believe how far he'd come. When he first started this journey, it had just been a small idea to save the books from the old library. But now he'd helped build an entire school. He thought about the long days of hard work that had gone into making this dream a reality. The countless hands that had come together to build the school, plant trees, and create a better future for the village. He realized that he wasn't just proud of himself, he was proud of his community, proud of their strength, their determination, and their belief in each other. Suddenly, Musa felt a tap on his shoulder. He turned around to see one of his teachers smiling at him. "Musa," she said, "you've done something truly special here. You've shown us all that even the smallest hands can build a better world." Musa blushed, feeling the weight of her words. He knew that she was right. He was just a 10-year-old boy with a big dream. But he'd never given up, and now his dream had become a reality. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the playground, Musa knew that his story wasn't over. This school was just the beginning. He wanted to help other children in other villages to have access to education. He wanted to make sure that no book was ever thrown away again. Looking out at the children running and playing, Musa felt a sense of hope. These children were the future, and he knew that they were in good hands. The school may have been made from recycled materials, but it was filled with the promise of a brighter future. In the end, Musa's story was more than just a story about a boy who built a school from trash. It was a story of hope, a story that showed that even the smallest hands can build a better world. It was a story that inspired people all over the country and beyond. And as the years went by, Musa's story continued to echo, reminding people that they had the power to make a difference. And that's the end of our story today. Do you like this story? Leave us a comment below with your thoughts. And if you're a kid watching this video, ask your parents or guardians to share this video with your friends. Also, remember to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to get notified of our latest videos. Your support helps us keep creating great stories for you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.